Friday, everyone. I'm Ann Birchard. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today we're going to make this card. Very simple layering technique using the rectangled stitched framelit dies. Here is another one that I used using Designer Series paper. So simple yet so effective. Love it. And decorated the inside. And here's this one, decorated on the inside. Now for this card, I'm going to be using the Berry Blessings, and this is free with the qualifying order, along with the Designer Series Berry Delightful. So see down below for a list of all my supplies. I'm going to be using the many messages as well. This is a one stamp, one die, and it cuts out all these wonderful messages. I'm going to link up above where I demonstrate the many messages. So let's make a card. Set this aside. I'm going to start off with basic white, and I cut this to 5.5 by 4 1/4. And I'm going to bring in some scratch paper here. I'm going to start off with the background berry stamp set, and I'm going to be using Pacific Point. And this is the fun part. Just go random all over your cardstock, rotating your stamp set, going off the edge, makes it look a little bit more organic. Leave some room because we're going to come back in with the leaves. And I think one more right there. This looks a little empty. And we're good. Use the chamois, wipe that off, set that aside. And now we're going to come in with the outline stamp set, if you can see that. And I'm going to use Night of Navy. Now, I love these stamps. You don't have to be perfect, but with the photopolymer, you can get pretty darn close. See, rotate it this way. Almost done. Well, if you're new to my channel, welcome. So glad to have you here. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit like and leave comments of what you would like to see. In fact, I've mentioned in my other videos, the hardest part is coming up with a project. Well, thanks to Erica, one of the ladies on my team. She sent a message and said, please show me how to do the layering technique again. So thank you, Erica. I did not have to think long on what I was going to do for this video. Next, I'm going to be using Granny Apple Green and the leaves, and this is the background leaf. And I'm going to sprinkle this one around. Again, rotating it, stamping off the cardstock. Just random all over. And I don't mind stamping on the blueberries. There we go. Get the chamois in, wipe that off. Close this off because I know I'll put my fingers in it. Now I'm going to come in with Garden Green and use the outline for the leaf. Cover that up. Let's see. There we go. Couple more. With Sale-a-bration, for every $50 you spend, you get free products of your choice. Shoot me a message if you would like a copy of that catalog and also the mini catalog that runs for January through June. I'd be more than happy to send those off to you. All right, I'm going to call this good. I can take the scratch paper away. Now I'm going to bring in the framelits, the rectangle framelits. Now starting with the largest one, we'll call that number 1. You're going to use 1, 2, 3, and 4. Numbers 1 and 3 are going to be your background paper. This is Pacific Point, and I cut it to 5.5 by 4 1/4. The trick is use your tape to make sure you have an even border all the way around. I don't care about the outside on the background, just on these inner 2. I have purple tape. If you don't have purple tape, use washi tape or regular Scotch tape, but make sure that you put it on your sleeve or your pant leg to pick up the lint and take out some of the sticky. Now for your focus cardstock or the designer series paper, you want to use frames 2 and 4. In this one, I want to make sure that all 3 spaces are equal, because I'm going to be using this outer frame on the inside to decorate it. And I'll squish that. Let me set this aside. Bring out the Cut and Emboss. Okay, so this is the background, and again it's frames 1 and 3, 1 being the largest in the frame set. And on this one, it's 2 and 4. I think I can get all of those in on one crank. Whoops, not yet, not yet. We'll get to you in a minute. Now with the Cut and Emboss, it has, I have to stand up for this. It tells you how to make the sandwich. And for this, it's number 1, 2, 3, my project, and another 3. Oh, so sorry for all the wiggling. There we go. That noise, normal. It's all good. Nobody was harmed in the making of this. And let's take this off. This can be put away. Okay. Gently, gently. All right, let's start with backgrounds. Don't care about this outside trash. I'll carefully remove the cardstock. There we go. And start building our layers here. Right, set that one aside. Now, I want to make sure this stays in the same order. Just see in a minute. Okay, this one will go on the inside. This will go on the outside. Carefully remove that. All right, set that aside. I'm going to bring in my silicone mat, and I'm going to be using the liquid glue, Tombow multi-liquid glue. This gives me a chance to rotate the frames when need be. I'm going to use Night of Navy cardstock. I cut it at 5.5 and scored it at 4 1/4. Let's start with the base. Let me put this aside here, keeping it in order. Squish some all the way around. Layer it. Again, making sure I have even space all the way around. It looks like I need to move it over. All right. Now next one, either Designer Series paper or the background that you just made. Make sure I have equal border all the way around. And I like using the frames for this project because it saves the cardstock. Instead of having 4 separate cardstocks, I just have one cardstock to get the same effect. I can put a little bit in that corner. There we go. Center this guy. All right, now before I add glue, make sure that this is going in the right way. There it is. Add my glue. Line it up in the center. So then it looks like a continuation throughout, and that's what we want. Okay, let's go ahead and decorate the inside. I just have a piece of copy paper, printer paper, again cut at 5.5 by 4 1/4, and I'm just going to use my Stampin' seal. Place that in. And then come in with that outer frame. Add some glue. Add that in. Cover up the white. And this will allow you to write, and the recipient will be able to see what you write. Okay. Oh, I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Let's add a sentiment. Now, from the many messages, again in that earlier video, I stamped and cut out a whole bunch and then just put them in the clear envelopes. So if ever I need a message, it's ready to go. So I picked Hooray, It's Your Birthday. And on the back, I'm going to add some Stampin' Sale and then bring in some of this twine. And I'm just going to puddle it on the back. I find puddling is a lot easier than tying a bow. So all you have to do is stick it on. Use my snips and end it in the back. He does not want to go in there. There we go. Stick. Come in with some dimensionals. Don't forget to text ANNBIRCHARD, all caps, one word, to the number 22828 to get on my monthly newsletter or any specials. I send out tips, tricks, and techniques. Here we go. Ta-da! Oh, like it. Well, you have this choice, or what did I do with it? This one, using the Designer Series paper, no stamping involved. Again, all the supplies are listed below in the description. I hope you enjoyed this crafting experience with a civil engineer and can't wait to see you next week. Have a great day. Bye.